Over the last 78 days, I've been transforming this entire mountainside, and the entire thing looks incredible except for this section here. So in order to fully complete the terraforming of this entire mountain, it's time to fix up this last little part. Now this part is definitely going to be the trickiest to try and figure out, just because of how steep this mountainside is. So there is a whole lot of digging for us to do and reshaping to get this looking pretty nice, so it can finally fit in with the rest of the world. The very first step to do is to connect this section all the way around the front until it meets up to somewhere around here. But in order to do that, I need to get rid of all of these trees. So let's go around and move every single one of these trees out of the way. And just like that, this entire area is completely cleared of trees. So now I can start on the next thing, planning out exactly where this level is going to go. Let me just grab a little bit of dirt from my storage room. That should be plenty, roughly 9 stacks. And I'm going to use the dirt to plan exactly where I want the terrain to go. So I think up until here, it's going to follow that kind of path, cutting very close to the top mountain here, and then kind of very closely mimic the shape of the top level until it gets to over here and it can open up a little bit more. But in order to do the next part, I'm going to have to dig instead of placing the blocks. Now looking at that, you can kind of see exactly where this is going to go. And then of course, we're going to go straight and then kind of kick out a little bit over here. Now what I need to do now is just pretty much dig everything down from this line to this wall over here, and then everything on the outside I need to dig down a little bit just so we can clearly see exactly where the level is. Now that means there is going to be a whole lot of digging, but thankfully it's not going to take very long for you guys. So I guess enjoy the time lapse. And after a tremendous amount of work, this is now what we have. It is such a big difference, but there's still quite a lot to do. But doing this section here has really made the wheat layer pop out really nicely. Like if we have a look from up here, this section here just looks so much better. I've made sure to try and carve the mountains a little bit too, just to make it a little bit more detailed. And don't worry, these ones that are flat, we're going to work on that today as well, just to make sure the entire range is ready to go. So obviously we've got a very kind of circular area here, and then it loops back out and connects to this mountain over here. Everything that is kind of one block lower, I'm going to have to dig all the way down. So this is going to be once again another cliff face, but this one's going to be very, very large. My intention, at least especially at this part over here, is to go all the way down to the level of water, which as you can see is very, very high up. It goes super deep, so it's going to be such a massive kind of mountain face. But I only want to do that at this part here. I want to have some mountains on the left hand side and also on the right hand side with a bridge going across. I think that would be really cool. But as you can see, my tools are pretty much done for. I mean, these picks are completely dead and I've been literally killing monsters just to get a little bit of XP and more durability for my shovel, because my other one is completely dead as well as my silk touch pick. So all 4 of my picks are done and I got no shovels left. So I got to go and get those fixed real quick. Now before we head over there, let me just show you my chest system over here. So if you've been keeping up with the previous episodes, then I'm sure you know that I am going to be building a brand new base that is going to be able to handle the thousands and thousands of items that we've got. Right now, our current base is not able to do that. So I've been storing everything over here because I'm almost certain that I'm going to be able to build something awesome over here, because this area is completely untouched. Instead of trying to fit it in over there, I think it's just going to be better just to start fresh. That also means that we'll have a relic of our old base to visit, just so we can see where we've kind of come from. But I've been stacking everything here. I've got a lot of these chests just full of a bunch of stuff I've been collecting. I do need to get silk touch on these 2 picks because I feel like collecting the cobblestone just a little bit of a waste of time. But let's head to the end so we can fix our tools before we do any of that. I'm super excited to start working on this area in here. I think it's going to be really cool. It's going to make it a lot easier to fly into the end when we have a better space to do that with. But let's go ahead and fix up all of our tools. And I'm hoping that that's going to take us all the way to the top for this final pickaxe. Oh, I think we're just going to miss it. Yep, barely. But we're very close. Oh, we got a little bit more. Okay. Look how close that was. Oh my goodness. Should have waited like 2 more seconds. But that's fine. Close enough. Let's now head back and see if I can get 2 books of silk touch just to chuck on those 2 extra picks that we've got. I definitely feel like I'd rather be collecting stone rather than the cobblestone. Oh, I do, but he's charging an absolute arm and a leg. 64 emeralds. I don't think I have that many. Oh my days. What a cheeky fella. Oh, I do. Okay, never mind. I know it's probably not a good deal, but sometimes you gotta do what you gotta do. And I got no choice in this situation. So I'm gonna have to give in to the scammer and just get 2 of them. That's alright. You know what? He's just a good businessman. 19 levels. That's pretty tough. Okay, that's fine. Boom and boom. Now we have silk touch on 3 of our picks, and we got this beautiful one with Fortune 5. I'm definitely feeling a whole lot better now about that. I do want to get myself even more of these kind of picks with these exact enchants. Silk, efficiency 6, and unbreaking and mending. If I can get another 3 or 4 of those, I feel like we'd be able to do, you know, a lot more work without having to fly to the end so much. I definitely need another one of these shovels too, which shouldn't be too hard to make. I only need efficiency 4. So that could be pretty easy. I should get a couple of them because I'm always running out. And you can see the reason why. We've now mined over 500,000 stone, and between the dirt and the grass we've harvested almost 300,000, and the majority of all of that has been in this entire project in the last 100 days. We have done an incredible amount of terraforming here. In fact, I think at the very start of this video we were a lot closer to 400,000 stone, so now that we're over 500 is a little bit concerning. I have been digging pretty much the entire time. We're on day 889, so it's already been almost 4 hours, which is crazy. But there's no time to rest because we need to go ahead and refix up this area. Now, I wasn't exactly sure what I was going to do here, so when I built it, I kind of just had it going this way, but I want to cut it back a bit. I want it to kind of cut like this, so we have a little bit more space. This is what I'm thinking. So I'll cut that back and create another level in here that's going to kind of flow all the way back to here, and then this level down here is going to be another level that I'm going to dig down and have it kind of flow right in front to create some kind of circle back here. Maybe I'll try and meet it somewhere in the middle here. I'm not 100% sure just yet, but I also want to do something at a similar level on this side. I'm thinking of having this level over here come down like 5 to 10 blocks and create once again another level, and then have like a bridge connecting the 2 levels from one side to the other. It's kind of hard to explain, but I think what I'm gonna do is kind of shape my plans and just get an idea for kind of what I'm thinking. Now, I'm hoping there's not going to be a huge amount of terraforming here. I hope I'm going to be able to start kind of building rather than just digging, but we're going to have to find out. I think there's definitely still going to be a lot of digging. So let's get started on that right now. And after many days, this is now kind of what I've got planned out. You can kind of much more easily see what I'm going for. Obviously, I'm going to cut this section down a little bit where the stone is. There's going to be a couple little ramps here. This one here is going to also come down to this level here. And this entire little bit in here is going to be dug completely out to really expose this underwater cave. This section here is becoming a kind of small level. You can see where I'm standing here. This is not huge, but we're going to be able to put something in there, and then potentially even a bridge heading all the way across. I slightly edited this area to make it a little bit bigger, and then once again we're going to have a little kind of access way to get down to this section. And then I'm thinking in the future I'm going to completely transform this entire mountainside here. Once we kind of expand the beach all the way through and begin working on a extension to this kind of harbor area. But of course, the main priority is this upper section. Everything pretty much above this water here needs to be done, just so we can kind of conclude the 100 days of transforming this entire mountainside, which I think we've done a pretty good job at so far. But we are at the end of day 894, and honestly, it still seems like there's quite a lot to do. I do need to dig a lot of this down to get it looking a little bit better, fix up a bunch of the grass, and then of course this section in here. Now, working working on the harbor section. That will be done in the future for sure. Hopefully not too long from now. But I don't really want to change the land too much just until I have a better idea of what the upper little area is going to look like. So this will probably be done once we kind of have an idea of what we're going to be doing with this harbor. But for now, of course, the priority is going to be digging this down a little bit, at least enough so we can see exactly where these levels are going to kind of be and just get a better idea for the shape of the land over here. But honestly, for 100 days, transforming this entire side has been very, very good. We've done quite a lot, but we're currently on day 894, well, night 894, so we only really have 5 days to go before we have to wrap this project up. So we really got to get a bit of a wriggle on. I had to add a bunch more chests over here, so this is really becoming a massive chest monster. A good majority of these chests are kind of full, so I'm gonna have to expand it once again. But I've also started collecting the flint, which I used to get rid of because you can actually trade that with Fletchers to get some emeralds, which will be very helpful for us because our supply is very low. So I guess that's one good thing for using the fortune shovel. And especially in this section here, there's been a ton of gravel, so it's been pretty nice to be able to collect some of that. But man, this whole area is really coming together nicely. I think we're doing a very good job. I'm excited to see it all finished once we finally have the terrain done. And we can really start adding in a bunch of things in here and make it feel like it's actually alive. But because time is running very low, what I'm going to do is just absolutely smash out the rest of this terraforming, hopefully in 2 or 3 days. So then that gives us roughly 3 or 4 days to kind of get a bunch of roads in and get the whole area kind of traversable, because right now you can't actually walk around. There's just grass. There's no actual paths or kind of proper setup anywhere. So we got to get on that as well. So without wasting any more time, let's go ahead and get that done right now. Ladies and gentlemen, what a massive change. Just have a look at this. Oh my goodness. So obviously this entire section in here is going to go all the way down to water eventually, but that is definitely going to be a project for another time because we are currently on day 898. And honestly, I think it is definitely fitting for its own project. I want to get this whole thing dug out, fix up this entire beach over here, and get the harbor wrapping all the way around here. That also includes a massive terraforming project of this massive mountain here, so I feel like if I do this all together, it would be an incredible video. I also want to start creating some kind of massive entrance into this huge underground waterway, which we can turn into something really cool. Like, this thing is absolutely huge. We could put an entire city under here, but at least we can very clearly see where the mountain kind of wraps up, just around here. But as you can see, with the changes made today, this entire mountain is just completely different. Such a massive difference that really brings this entire area together. Except for one very obvious issue. It's all grass. So we need to go ahead and try and add in as many roads as we can, connecting all the different levels together. Now thankfully I've been collecting an absolute metric ton of stone, so that shouldn't be much of an issue. Oh, hold on, where did my... Oh, there's my sword. Goodness. I thought I lost my sword for a second. I was about to cry. I'm gonna grab an entire inventory of stone, and my pickaxe is very close to being completely gone, and every other pickaxe is completely gone already, so we got to try and make this one last. But what I want to do is, first of all, tackle this very glaring issue over here. This section here is right in the middle, and it just looks so bad, especially with this massive hole. So we're going to go ahead and fix this up real quick. Not going to be too hard. We just got to place in a bit of stone and do a little bit of reshaping just to get it looking exactly how I want. Get it fitting in a little bit nicer to the surrounding mountains. I think that's really going to bring this entire area together a lot better. So just like that, literally 30 seconds of work and it already looks 100 times better. There's not much we can do to this section here, only because it's only 2 blocks high, but I definitely think we need some kind of road in here, because otherwise this road is leading into nowhere, which doesn't make a whole lot of sense. So let's go ahead and just quickly dig this down ever so slightly, just so we can get a nice little road so people can travel right through. And using the dirt that I collect from just digging that down a little bit, I'm going to add in the dirt to the side. And I guess the stone road is already placed in then, which just makes it a whole lot easier to finish, kind of just like this. So now this is now technically a road through here. Look at that, nice and simple. We fixed up this mountain too, but let me go ahead and kind of dig out an area for this road to follow. I wanted to come towards the front and then link all the way up to this road over here, which will take you right to the wheat fields. This will give us ample space back here to build something really cool. Just like that. Absolutely beautiful. Now I just got to fill it all in, and then we can have a look at just how much of a difference just simply adding in a little road makes to the entire area. And if we just zoom out, have a look at that. Obviously the road still doesn't actually lead anywhere just yet, but don't worry, we're going to fix that next. But first, considering we still technically have roughly 40 minutes until day 900, I think we can do a little bit better than just a stone road. Dude, look how good this area looks. Oh my days. And then back here, once this gets fixed, it's going to just be so good, man. But let me go into my storage and quickly dump off a little bit of stone for some space. Let's see how many spruce fences I can find in here. Don't worry, I'll be fixing my chest situation very soon. In fact, I'm going to show you exactly where I'm going to be putting my new base right after we find some spruce fences. If I even find any. Okay, 21. Oh my goodness. Okay, not so good on these spruce fences, but I do have some spruce logs in here if I remember correctly. I got some spruce planks. Oh my goodness, we are very low on spruce. Come on, man. One extra plank. Oh my days, this is not looking good. Okay, it seems like my entire chest storage is completely full. Like every single one of these output chests are absolutely full to the max, which means in my entire hopper system wrapping around my whole base, that's probably where a lot of my items are, which is obviously a problem. We do have a little bit of spruce in this chest for some reason, so maybe it was able to make it just there. So let's see how many fences I can get from that. Okay, 2 stacks. Hopefully that's going to be enough. I'm sure it's going to do okay, but I can't even put that back in my chest storage because there's no space anywhere. Oh my goodness. Let's see if I can find some lanterns, because that's the other thing that I need. We need to light up the area a little bit. I got 64 there. Beautiful. I should have more in here for sure because I've been using them to get XP, so I don't have to make that extra trip to the end. Okay, look at that. We've scavenged together enough. Now, the next thing I'm needing to look for is some bones, which once again, I know we have a ton of. You know how much easier this would be if I had an actual chest system? I really need to get on top of that fast, man. This is not a good way to live. Goodness gracious. Okay, I've got everything that I need now. It's not crazy, but it's a little bit extra just to make sure that these roads stand out very nicely. And maybe it's going to make the entire area look a little bit better rather than just boring grass. But it is nighttime, so we're going to have to deal with a lot of monsters. So let's chuck in, of course, some lanterns on top of spruce fences. Even if it's only temporary, it's going to be a very nice and easy way to kind of make the area look a little bit better and hopefully reduce the amount of mobs that are going to be spawning in here. I have had quite a few close calls over the last 100 days, so I think we definitely need to start getting on top of our spawning situation because it is not good at all. But of course, once we get some spruce fences with the lanterns on top, that's going to fix our problem. Fingers crossed. Let's quickly deal with this creeper. We don't want him sneaking up on us. Boom and boom. Hell yeah, man. All right, so this area is definitely looking a lot nicer. Let's go ahead and figure out where this stone path should go. I think it's obviously going to cascade all the way around here until it reaches up to this path here. So let's do that very first, since that is nice and easy while battling mobs, of course. Oh my goodness, this is not a good time to be doing this. Oh goodness, we got a squad here trying to get rid of us, but don't worry, we're gonna get rid of them first. Thank goodness I have knockback too. That makes dealing with these creepers 1,000 times easier. Bro doesn't have a chance. But we're almost at the very top level, so we're getting close to finishing this road here, which isn't huge, but it is definitely going to make a difference in making the entire area just look so much more complete, especially once we add the grass in. I think that's really going to make a big difference. Oh, he just jumped out of nowhere. Oh my days. Oh, look at these llamas absolutely destroying this zombie. He's got not a single chance. I appreciate the distraction. That's good teamwork. Look, he's holding him in the air. Oh my days, look at that. Look at that teamwork. That is incredible. The zombie is absolutely defenseless. Let me help these guys out. Boom. Nope. Boom. Okay. Oh, I've never seen that before. That is incredible. Whoa, he literally jumped out of nowhere. That reaction time was very lucky. Oh my days. But now this connection is now made to this road here, which is actually part of the main road that we created a while ago. So it's good that this finally links up. I think it's going to make a very big difference in this mountainside, especially during the night when we have the lighting in and it all just lights up very nicely. Oh, we got a baby zombie. Get out of here, mate. Goodness gracious. And now the final piece of the puzzle is of course going to be these bones. Adding in some grass in and around these roads, not the super tall grass of course, but add a little bit of grass and flowers is really going to bring this area together, I think. Just make it seem a little less boring considering how flat everything is. I think it makes sense too considering how expansive this entire area is and nothing is really built here, so maybe the upkeep is a little less. Obviously once things start moving and happening around here, I guess people are going to take more care of the area. Maybe they're going to cut the grass a bit better. But while there's nothing out here, I guess it makes sense to have the grass growing a little bit taller. But now that is this path pretty much finished, and just have a look at that. That little bit of a difference adding in the stone path and of course the grass and flowers as well as the lanterns is really bringing this area together much nicer. And I think once we do this entire area, the whole thing is just going to really come together. Now because of how expansive this area is and how many roads I have to do, it's going to be boring if I just kind of show you the same thing over and over again, so I think it would be better for me to just do an awesome time lapse. I'm going to do my best to do as much of this area as I can, but when it hits day 900 I do have to stop, so we have less than a day to go. But thankfully it is a brand new day, so we got pretty much 20 minutes, so I'm sure we could do quite a lot and see what kind of thing we can come up with. Now I know because of all the time lapses in this video has been very quick, or I guess short, but it has taken a whole lot of time to put together. In fact, roughly the same amount of time my normal videos do, but with all the terraforming, it just goes by so much quicker. Which I guess is a good segue to announce my live streams. I now go live every Monday and Friday, right here on YouTube. So if you guys want to join those live streams, the best thing to do is join the Discord, link is down in the description. And when I go live, there is an announcement which you can opt in to get notified for. This makes it extremely easy to catch the live streams, or just simply look out for them while you're on YouTube, or you can even watch the VOD. This means that there's even more Jozza content for you to watch if you do want to watch more. Now whether you join in just for a couple minutes or even a couple hours, whatever you want to do, drop in, say hello, and I try my best to reply to everybody. But anyway, let's go ahead and get these roads done right now. Now that just might be one of the fastest time lapses I've ever done. That was insanely quick. But it is now the day of 900 and this is all we got done. I didn't quite get to link this road all the way up, and I'm a man of my word, so we're definitely going to stop there. I said we were going to stop on day 900 and I have to follow through with that. So have a look at this massive area. This has changed so much over the last 100 days and I am absolutely astounded at how quickly we got this done. We spent an entire 100 days just terraforming this entire thing, moving hundreds of thousands of blocks, and also placing in tens of thousands. But we are not done here. Over the next 100 days, I'm definitely going to be expanding and adding some epic things in here, just filling it to the brim with cool builds and taking this entire area to the next level. Now, I said I had an idea for where my new base is going to go, so let me show you exactly where that is. Now if we fly over to this section here, you can see this very kind of weird thing that I've built in here. It looks strange. If we zoom out, we can see a very kind of weird design. My plan is to dig this down even further and have it open up to a very big cave. Now that means wherever I am in my world, I can very easily kind of fly over and straight into the wall here, which is going to lead to an absolutely epic mega base. Now that's going to be after day 1000 though, so we still have a little bit of time before we start working on that, and I'm probably going to try and figure out what kind of shape I want to go for. I want to do something a little bit different to what I usually do all of my underground bases, so I want to make this one incredible. But overall, I think we've done a pretty good job in this entire area. It is completely different. If you have a look way back on day 800, this entire area here is just completely different. Such a massive change in honestly not a huge amount of time. Now because of how largely scaled this thing is, you can kind of see me down here for a rough kind of scale. Like this thing is enormous. It might not look huge, but this is hundreds of blocks across, and if we go down, you can see it is extremely tall. From the water, we can't even see half of the level. That's just how absolutely mega this whole thing is, and it's gonna look so much better once we get some epic buildings in here. Dude, I'm so excited. Oh my goodness. There's so many things we can build in here. There's just so much space to work with. But ladies and gentlemen, I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, make sure to hit that subscribe button if you haven't already. And if you want to see more, make sure to join into the live streams every Monday and Friday. But as always, guys, thank you so much for watching. I appreciate you so much. And until next time, peace out.